all the fast muscle cars from the 60s? Think again! These 10 unknown speed demons from 1966 are ready to blow your mind, proving that hidden power often comes from the least expected places. 1. 1966 Dodge Coronet 500 HEMI. In the quiet streets of Wilkesboro, North Carolina, one car could outrun anything, yet no one really knew it. This light blue 1966 Dodge Coronet 500 HEMI was built not for fame, but for speed and secrecy. It looks plain, even gentle, but under that hood lives a 426 cubic inch HEMI V8, capable of 425 horsepower. This machine hits 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.8 seconds and crushes the quarter mile in 13.9 seconds, a number faster than many modern muscle cars. Looking deeper, one discovers smart choices made only for function. 11-leaf springs on each side kept it flat and high, even when loaded with nearly a ton of extra weight. The quiet dog dish hubcaps and light blue paint blended in, making it perfect for staying unnoticed. In the front, its engine roared without mercy, but the body whispered nothing of the fire inside. Hidden switches under the dash turned off the taillights. Solid front wheels made it hard to identify when chasing. Larger square mirrors, easy grip steering, and strengthened rear ends told their own story. Every detail spoke of one purpose: run fast, disappear faster. This was not a show car, it was a working car. Still, few knew it existed. Why? Because flashy cars got caught. This one never did. It was built to look slow, to hide what it really was. That's why this fastest unknown car has stayed under the radar, even as it outpaced others that bragged. It came with a 4-speed A833 manual transmission and a 3.54-to-1 Dana 60 rear axle, meaning every ounce of that power got used well. With a 9,000 RPM redline race engine inside, even if that engine was a replacement, it didn't lose any power. Upgrades made it safer, but didn't change its true heart. Heavy-duty brakes, stainless steel lines, and a cooling package made it tough and ready for more. Back then, no one looked twice at a simple Dodge sedan. That's what made it perfect. Fast enough to escape anything, smart enough to stay hidden. Not many remember it, but this 1966 Coronet 500 HEM might just be the fastest car no one ever talks about. 2. 1966 Mercury Comet Cyclone GT. The 1966 Mercury Comet Cyclone GT could go from 0 to 60 in just 6.6 seconds and finish the quarter mile in 14.0 seconds at 103.8 miles per hour. That made it one of the fastest mid-size cars on the road, yet it stayed mostly unnoticed. Right from the start, it didn't look like a car built for racing. Its hidden speed came from a powerful 390 cubic inch V8 engine with 335 horsepower and a 4-barrel carburetor. A smooth blend of style and strength, this car was faster than many muscle cars of its time, but people just didn't see it that way. Now, here's the twist. It was quiet in appearance, but strong in heart. Most folks saw it as just another Comet, especially with the 202 series selling almost 64,000 units and pulling the spotlight. The Cyclone GT only had about 15,970 made, and that number alone helped it slip into the shadows. Still, the Cyclone GT had something special going on. It shared its base with the Fairlane and ran on a 116-inch wheelbase, which helped with balance and handling. Look at the details. A race-style lower body stripe ran between the wheels, checkered flag badges sat on the fenders, and hood scoops gave it a bold look, even though they didn't lead to the engine. Its hood was actually made of fiberglass, reducing weight and adding to its quick moves. The suspension got upgraded too, using a heavy-duty setup with a large front stabilizer bar that helped keep it under control at high speeds. Slide inside, And the surprises keep coming. Bucket seats with pleated vinyl gave it a sporty feel. A console-mounted gear lever and a black matte dashboard completed the racing look. Drivers had a choice of a 4-speed manual or the Sport Shift Merc-O-Matic, allowing full control of gears or relaxed driving when needed. With a top speed of 120 miles per hour, it was far more powerful than most people expected. But because it shared looks with other Comets and didn't scream performance, it stayed in the shadows. Its true ability lived under the hood, making it one of the fastest unknown cars from the 1960s. 3. 1966 Plymouth Belvedere II HEMI. The 1966 Plymouth Belvedere II HEMI was an understated powerhouse, capable of hitting 60 miles per hour in just 5.7 seconds and completing the quarter mile in 13.8 seconds. This performance made it one of the fastest cars of its era, but it stayed relatively unknown to most because it didn't flaunt its speed. On the outside, it looked like a regular two-door Plymouth with a clean, simple design that didn't scream muscle car. What made this car so quick was the 426 HEMI V8 under the hood, delivering 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque. But despite its incredible performance, it wasn't flashy. It cost over $900 to add the HEMI option, which priced it out of reach for many buyers. Only 541 of these HEMI Belvedere IIs were made, and just 280 of them featured the 4-speed manual transmission, making it even rarer. People just didn't see these cars often enough to realize what they could do. When it came to speed, the Belvedere II was all business. It wasn't about appearances. The car was equipped with a strong A727 TorqueFlite 3-speed automatic transmission and a robust 8.75 rear end designed for pure performance. With its lightweight body and powerful engine, it left many other cars in the dust at every stoplight. Despite its quiet appearance, it was a true street machine. Its top-notch acceleration and handling made it a sleeper car, a true wolf in sheep's clothing. Though the Belvedere II didn't grab the headlines like its flashier counterparts, its performance on the road told a different story. It wasn't built for attention, it was built for speed. And when it was time to go, it did so with a roar, leaving everyone else wondering what just happened. The HEMI-powered Belvedere II showed that sometimes the fastest cars are the ones that don't shout about it. 4. 1966 Oldsmobile 442 W30. The 1966 Oldsmobile 442 W30 could go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.8 seconds and run the quarter mile in 13.2 seconds at 103 miles per hour. With that kind of speed, it could race past many muscle cars of its time, but almost no one noticed. One big reason was the way it looked. The W30 didn't have wild stripes or loud paint. It looked simple, but under the surface, things were very different. Starting with the engine, there was the L79 V8, a 400 cubic inch motor with 3 two-barrel carburetors. That gave the car 360 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque. But people who worked at the factory said it really made 390 horsepower. And some dyno results even showed over 410. Next came the fresh air option, which made this W30 even more powerful. Just ahead of the bumper, there were sneaky air scoops that pulled in cold air. The parking lights were moved inboard to make space for these scoops. Then, connected by 4-inch hoses, the air reached a special dual snorkel air cleaner on top of the engine. To balance the weight, the battery was moved to the trunk. This helped the car handle better and made more space for the air system under the hood. This outside air induction setup was rare and only found on a few select dealer cars. Even more rare, only 54 of these cars were ever made. And they were only built for a short time, in June 1966. That's why so few people knew about them. With so few made, most buyers never even saw one. Now take into account one more thing. This W30 came with a 4.11 rear axle ratio, strong rear axles, and a big radiator. The parts could be bought separately, but without the factory-built engine, they couldn't match the real W30. At the time, Oldsmobile didn't push this car hard in ads. They didn't give it bright colors or flashy names. That's how this muscle car stayed hidden. Though fast and smartly built, the 1966 Oldsmobile 442 W30 was almost invisible. It stayed unknown, not because it was weak, but because it was quiet in style and rare in number. Underneath the calm body, it was built to fly. 5. 1966 Chevrolet Biscayne 427. The 1966 Chevrolet Biscayne 427 was an undiscovered powerhouse. While many other muscle cars grabbed the spotlight, this one quietly packed a punch under the hood. Powered by a 427 cubic inch L72 V8 engine, it made 425 horsepower and could race from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.9 seconds. That's quick for a car that looked like a simple two-door sedan. The quarter-mile time of 14.3 seconds at full speed made it a true performer, but people didn't notice because it wasn't flashy. The reason it remained under the radar was partly because of its look. The Biscayne had no wild stripes or eye-catching designs. Painted in tuxedo black with a clean red cloth and vinyl interior, it was a simple and classy car. Even though it had the heart of a race car, it didn't scream speed. It was plain in appearance, yet when you hit the gas, it was anything but ordinary. Inside, the car was functional. It had front and rear bench seats, reupholstered in red cloth and vinyl. A Delco AM radio and a basic heater were the only extras. The dashboard was simple, with a 120 mile/hour speedometer and a 7,000 revolutions per minute tachometer. It didn't need anything fancy, just enough to enjoy the ride. The car was built for performance, not for showing off. The engine was originally rated at 425 horsepower, but was replaced in the mid-1980s with an overboard 427 cubic inch unit, giving it even more power. It was paired with a Muncie M21 4-speed manual transmission, giving it a perfect mix of control and power. The Posey traction differential helped keep the rear wheels planted, ensuring traction when the car took off. The dual exhaust system added to its deep sound while enhancing performance. The car's lack of attention was due to the quiet, low-key style and the fact that it wasn't advertised as a speed machine. Despite its powerful engine and quick times, fewer people noticed this hidden gem. It may not have been flashy, but it was certainly fast. 6. 1966 Pontiac 2+2. The 1966 Pontiac 2+2 was a hidden marvel, often overlooked in the world of muscle cars. While many people were focused on GTOs and Firebirds, the 2+2 had the same performance, but in a bigger, less flashy package. Under the hood, it boasted a 421 HO V8 engine that produced 376 horsepower, which gave it impressive speed. It could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.8 seconds and complete the quarter mile in 15.3 seconds. Top speed? A solid 121 miles per hour. Yet, despite its impressive performance, it remained largely unknown. Why? Because it wasn't the kind of car that grabbed attention with loud paint or big decals. Additionally, this full-size muscle car was built for those who wanted all the performance of a GTO, but in a more refined, grown-up package. The 2+2 had a longer wheelbase and more interior space, making it a comfortable ride while still delivering thrilling speed. The car was rarely seen with the 4-speed manual transmission, making it even more unique. Of the 6,383 2+2s built in 1966, only 2,208 came with a manual and fewer still were convertibles. Even rarer were the 562 models with the powerful WJ code engine. This rarity is part of the reason the 2+2 stayed off the radar. Despite this, the car's understated appearance also helped it stay under the radar. While it had all the muscle of a GTO, it didn't shout it out loud. It was painted in subtle colors like barrier blue and had basic interior features. There were no bold racing stripes or flashy emblems. Inside, the car was built for comfort, with reupholstered seats, a radio system that played MP3s, and a simple yet stylish interior design. Performance-wise, it was no slouch. The 421HO engine gave the car a deep, throaty sound, especially with the upgraded dual exhaust system. The 4-speed manual transmission allowed for precise control, and the heavy-duty suspension helped keep the car stable at high speeds. The rear end was also strong enough to handle the power, making it a true muscle car despite its larger size. Despite all these features, the 2+2 stayed unknown simply because it wasn't as flashy as the others. 7. 1966 Chevrolet Nova SS L79. The 1966 Chevrolet Nova SS L79 was a performance powerhouse that many overlooked in its time, but it packed a punch when it came to speed. This muscle car was powered by a 327 cubic-inch V8 engine that produced 350 horsepower, making it a sleeper among the bigger, flashier muscle cars. The L79 engine allowed the Nova to complete the quarter mile in 15.1 seconds at 93 miles per hour. Despite its impressive performance, it didn't get the same attention as the more famous muscle cars of the era. Why? Its smaller size and subtle looks kept it under the radar, but those who knew its potential knew it was a force to be reckoned with. Now let's talk numbers. The Nova SS was lighter than many other muscle cars, tipping the scales at 2,750 pounds, which made it more agile and quicker. With a 12-bolt rear axle and 3.73 gears, it had excellent traction and could handle the power of the V8 with ease. The Muncie 4-speed manual transmission gave the driver precise control, while the dual exhaust system added a throaty sound that matched the car's performance. Externally, the Nova SS looked clean and simple. It featured a black vinyl interior with bucket seats and a factory console, keeping the focus on the car's performance rather than flashy details. The exterior was finished in tuxedo black with chrome accents, giving it a sleek, understated look. The 14-inch wheel covers and Blackwall tires were functional and didn't distract from the car's purpose: speed. When it came to handling, the Nova was well equipped with a special independent coil spring suspension in the front and leaf springs in the rear. These allowed for smooth cornering and excellent control at high speeds. The Nova's top speed reached 123 miles per hour, which was impressive for its size and class. Overall, this combination of speed, power, and agility made the 1966 Nova SS L79 one of the fastest unknown muscle cars of the era. Its performance on the track and the street made it a hidden gem, often overshadowed by its bigger counterparts. 8. 1966 Buick Skylark Gran Sport. The 1966 Buick Skylark Gran Sport might not have been the first car that came to mind when thinking about muscle cars, but it had a lot of untapped speed under its hood. This car could go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 7.6 seconds, a time that rivaled some of the biggest muscle cars on the market, but it stayed relatively unknown because of its understated style and Buick's reputation at the time. Let's talk power. The Skylark Gran Sport was powered by a Wildcat 401 engine, which was a 401 cubic-inch engine, V8 that cranked out 325 horsepower. This was plenty to give the car a solid performance on both the street and the drag strip. In fact, it could complete the quarter mile in 15.47 seconds at 90.5 miles per hour. This made it quicker than some of its more famous competitors, but the Gran Sport didn't get the recognition it deserved. The car's looks were subtle, especially compared to the flashy Mustangs and GTOs, which made it easy for buyers to overlook. Beyond this, Buick's decision to release this performance model as a part of the Skylark line and not as a separate car made it less noticeable. The Gran Sport was built with a fully boxed frame, which gave it a strong and stable base for handling the power of the engine. It also featured a beefed-up suspension, which included coil springs in all four corners and larger anti-roll bars. This made the Gran Sport agile despite its power, helping it handle tight corners and quick accelerations with ease. Not only this, braking was handled by 9.5-inch hydraulic drum brakes, which worked fine for regular driving, but were not strong enough for high-speed performance like some competitors' disc brake systems. But the car's performance was still impressive, especially when paired with the 3.36-to-1 rear gear ratio for the manual transmission version. The power pack of its strong engine, agile handling, and understated design made the 1966 Buick Skylark Gran Sport a hidden gem in the muscle car world. It may not have gotten the fame of other brands, but it was undoubtedly fast and capable. 9. 1966 Ford Fairlane GT 390. The 1966 Ford Fairlane GT 390 might not always be in the spotlight, but it definitely deserves more attention. Beneath the hood lies a 390 cubic inch V8 engine, which is the powerhouse of this car. With 335 horsepower and 427 pound-feet of torque, it's clear that this car was made for speed. This muscle car can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 6.8 seconds, which is impressive for its time. It also runs the quarter mile in 15.2 seconds at 92 miles per hour. These numbers are close to some of the top muscle cars of that era, making it a true contender. Its design also contributed to its speed. The Fairlane GT has a sleek body with stacked quad headlamps and a swooping roofline, giving it a modern look for the 1960s. The car is available as a hardtop or convertible, making it versatile for different preferences. You can also choose from 15 different colors, adding a personal touch to its appearance. Inside, the Fairlane GT offers comfort and style. It has bucket seats and a console-mounted gear shifter, which are perfect for any muscle car lover. The dash-mounted 6,000 RPM tachometer is an exciting feature, especially if you're into street racing. Ford also made sure the ride was quiet by adding 120 pounds of insulating material. However, the Fairlane GT was designed with performance in mind, featuring a 116-inch wheelbase and a big block V8 engine. This combination made it a fierce competitor on the streets. The GT was also equipped with manual and automatic transmission options, giving drivers the freedom to choose their preferred driving style. Despite its power and style, the Fairlane GT never received the attention it truly deserved. It was overshadowed by other, more famous muscle cars, which is why it remains relatively unknown today. The fact that it could keep up with the top muscle cars of its time makes it a hidden gem in the world of classic cars. 10. 1966 Rambler Rogue V8. The 1966 Rambler Rogue V8 is a hidden gem in the world of classic cars, offering an exciting blend of power and style. Despite its under-the-radar status, this car packs a punch, especially with its 290 cubic inch Typhoon V8 engine. It generates 200 horsepower with a 2-barrel carburetor, making it a strong contender for speed. It can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 8.4 seconds and complete a quarter mile in 16.4 seconds. When you step on the gas, the Rogue can give other muscle cars a run for their money, even though it's not as well known as some of its rivals. This V8 engine ensures quick acceleration, giving it a satisfying kick when you hit the open road. Speaking of looks, the Rogue's stylish design adds to its appeal. The two-tone paint job, with its bold colors, gives it a stylish look that stands out in a crowd. The chrome accents further enhance the exterior, making this car an eye-catching ride. It may not be as famous as other cars from that era, but when you see it on the street, you know it's something special. Inside, the Rogue continues to impress. It has semi-bucket front seats, which are comfortable and stylish, with a fixed center squab and a fold-down armrest. These seats offer a mix of practicality and comfort, making long drives much more enjoyable. The interior also has a simple yet classy feel, with black leather seats and a clean dashboard. Although the headliner might need some attention, the rest of the interior is in good shape for a car of its age. Well, one of the reasons the Rambler Rogue is often overlooked is because it's not as mainstream as other classic cars from the 60s. While many people are familiar with the Chevy II or Mustang, the Rogue never quite reached that level of fame. However, this has worked in favor of collectors and enthusiasts who know the value of this car. The Rogue offers a great combination of power, speed, and style at a much more affordable price than some of its more famous counterparts. Although it's not as commonly known, the 1966 Rambler Rogue V8 has all the qualities of a fast and fun car. Its 290 V8 engine delivers impressive performance, and its unique design gives it an undeniable charm. While other cars might grab more attention, the Rogue is a fantastic option for anyone looking for a classic ride that won't break the bank. Which of these forgotten muscle cars surprised you the most? Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more car stories.